What's up? All right. It's starting to give. The longer time goes without me securing an interview, the less organized these podcasts are. I need y'all to figure that out. I need y'all to be locked in with me. I need you to be on board because this is getting tiresome. Hey, cousin. Hi. Did you miss me? You should. You really should. We're family here. You should miss me. I'm your favorite play cousin. And you're acting like you don't care. Ciao. You know I'm back on here because I got time. First and foremost, let's take a moment to recognize that I stay lying to y'all.
What's new?
I want to be on just as badly as y'all want me to be on with putting the podcast together. But when I tell you, I swear to you, I can't get a break. Everybody, okay, so listen, here's the tea, baby. Tea. Everybody at this new job got fired but me. Which just feels like I'm coming next. I'm gonna try my best. I am, because I really didn't love being unemployed. So that being said, I've had less free time because I'm the only employee. Who's that? So yeah, I may have lied about getting my shit back together to get these podcast episodes on a consistent basis, but it was for good reason, babe. Also, I'm gonna do my best because right now I'm having an internal crisis, and normally I like to have these types of dialogues when I am in crisis, or when I'm having some type of emotional, mental health turmoil. That's a good word, turmoil. Mostly just because I be talking out the side of my neck. And who knows what I'll say. But isn't that what entertainment is? It's a mystery, darling. I don't know what I'm going to say. You don't know what I'm going to say. But hopefully we can keep this podcast episode very brief, because as you can see, we're somewhere else this episode, and this somewhere else is my car. It's getting less and less professional. We have no mic. I have no nothing. This is just me being like, I went and picked up some thin mint cookies from the Dollar Tree because they're vegan. Don't do me. And I needed chocolate, and the normal chocolate thing that I get from the Dollar Tree was there, so here I am. But anyways, there's so many things that I want to talk about. I don't know where to even orient myself. So let's start with the fact that I have been trying to do a lot lately. And we talked about it in the last episode. We talked about it in an episode before that. So we have been having continual conversations at this point about this. I've been trying to do a lot lately. And I'm just like every other black woman who thinks that everything rests on my shoulders. And realistically, it does. In some way or another. Like, you see, I own this home, right? And we have been talking about me being broke for a minute. I'm trying to keep the bills paid, babe. I'm trying to keep the bills paid.
Bills.
I'm sick of quitting jobs. I'm sick of having to go somewhere else. Like, I just want to be stable for a second. And I know realistically that sometimes when things like these things happen, and you start to feel like you're lacking some sort of sense of stability, and it feels like nothing's exactly where you want it to be, it's more than likely you're being pointed in the direction of, this is not your purpose. This is not your purpose, and I have you on a short timeline, so I need you to do what your purpose to do here and now. So I think I need to finish my book.
You got me.
I was having a whole conversation yesterday at this job thing that I was doing. I was hosting an event. I'm gonna pretend that I'm imaginarily posting a video of me at the location, because the location was really cute and the view was sickening. But I was having a conversation with two beautiful, excellent Black women about all of the things that I think and believe. I realized that sometimes these episodes stray far, far away from what my intended conversations are, which is about being Black and a woman and all of the intersectionality that exists in those paradigms. And then adding the layer of being queer on top of it, and getting to the tea of being like, yeah, it does mean something. It's not like, it's like, at the end of the day, I love y'all, so I love to keep it cute. I love to have a laugh. I love to have a good time. And I think a lot of that is placated. A lot of that part of my personality is placated in the nuanced reality of feeling like I had to be funny. I had to be funny and entertaining, or, you know, I could be perceived as a threat. And so I subconsciously am always smiling as a result of constantly wanting to disarm people. Things to make people feel comfortable around you, and then growing up and realizing that a lot of what I was doing was for optics. I have come back to the realization and the notion that some of the conversations that I intended to have are very important, and I stopped having them out of the perceived reality of having to be a caricature of myself. And it's not even so much that I'm caricaturizing myself. It's more or less like all of the semantics of all of the nuances that I put into curating this podcast makes some of the more relevant things that I hope to discuss kind of fall to the wayside, because I'm just having a conversation. Harder to stay on topic of the trauma that I am hoping to unpack with y'all. Like, realistically, I want us to have this conversation for real. And I think I want to start with the fact that there are stereotypes. Like, as if that's news. There are all these stereotypes that dictate what it means to be a woman. And then on the grander scale of that, what happens is that we're all being objectified into ideological, mythological perception of what it means to be a Black woman, which even when they think of us as being high value, really all the value that is ascribed to us is our physical beauty, physical wealth, and subservience and submissiveness, which has nothing to do with the character of who we are as individuals. And what I'm learning from dating these days is sometimes character is every motherfucking thing, bitch. Character is everything. Character is everything. This is a nuance in the Black queer dating experience. A lot of times, we are all coming from different backgrounds, and we're all being oppressed under the same umbrella, that when we find each other and we date within our peer group, as other Black women, girl, I'm gonna hold your hand when I say this. We be putting each other through hell. We be putting each other through hell. Hell. I can't even lie. And the crazy part is, like, in this most recent experience, I have learned a lot. I think I mentioned previously, I don't even know what I'm telling y'all. I know I mentioned previously about the difficulties I've had in dating when it comes to, like, being an open person and whoop, but that's not the mindset that I'm operating in anymore. So I'm out here being vulnerable with my emotions, which is like a whole lot of things. And I'm also learning to advocate for myself when I feel like I'm being disrespected, or when I feel like I'm not being honored, or when I feel like my needs aren't being met, or when I'm starting to feel a little insecure about something, and when I need reassurance and I want something to be validated, when I need something acknowledged. I'm very on the nose with it now. Like, I'm like, can you acknowledge this for me? Or you give me the explanation, can you let me know that you understand where I came from, why I came to that conclusion, so we can move forward in this conversation and then not feel like you don't give a fuck about what my reasoning is. You just want to get to the point. And a lot of times, character makes it so that the pride and the ego and some of the triggers that we have in the past will block us from being able to have real conversations that are needed for us to grow. So if you're in a relationship with another Black woman, ask yourself, am I empathizing? Am I empathizing with this person? If you're in a relationship with anyone, of course you should be asking that, but I want you to do a deeper evaluation of whether or not you are genuinely empathizing if you are a Black woman, because a lot of us have 100 million walls up. In a society full of people who have told us time and time again that we can't afford to be soft, and that we don't have the luxury of softness, and that every person that we're in a room with is expecting us to be hard and tough and no nonsense. And I don't think it's realistic to expect perfection. And if you're here with me and you're expecting me to be very much like disconnected from certain types of feelings, or to have a more repressed version of myself, because that's the comfort that you're looking for from me, because that's what you're familiar with when it comes to Black women, I'm not that type. I'm sensitive, nigga. First and foremost, I'm sensitive as fuck. I'm the sensitivest person I know. And I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Sensitivity makes artists, it makes poets, creatives, empaths, and priestesses. You know, like, sensitivity makes some of the greatest women in history. If Black women are not allowed to cry in public spaces, if they're not allowed to express frustration, my softness is not perceived as something that requires gentleness. And one of the things that I am interrogating now is, what is my expectation when it comes to articulating my emotion? While I'm choosing to learn to advocate for myself now, what am I tolerating that I should not tolerate because I have a history of not being allowed to do this? And it dawned on me today, I'm constantly seeking a woman like my mother to validate my emotions, because as a child, my mother never did. And so a lot of it boils back and rolls back into, I am continuing to seek women who invalidate my feelings and try to convince these women that my feelings deserve validation. I learned, and my therapist taught me this, that type of engaging with people is very transactional. And I started to adjust and be like, okay, I give you what I give you, and either you honor it or you don't. What I really wanted to point back to is that a lot of this experience as a queer Black woman is duplicitous, because it's not just us who has experienced a lifetime of trauma, suppression, oppression, you name it, you list it, the list goes on. It is now two people with those same types of lived experiences that have happened in dramatically different ways that are trying to show up. And oftentimes, because we think, oh, she's a woman, I'm a woman, this should be easy, we are and understanding what it takes to be with a Black woman. It takes a lot of empathy and compassion and sensitivity to be with a Black woman. I think a lot of us are unaware that we are also conforming and redacting our partner's identity into these subcategorized bullets of the type of Black woman that we have admired through our lives or have been adjacent to most of our lives. And therefore, this is what we look for in Black women. And I just need y'all to start living outside of the fantasy of Black women being 90s fucking Love Joan tropes. Like, I am a whole human being. Please. And also, can we stop idealizing heterosexual relationships to some facet and trying to regulate our behaviors based off the heterosexual expectations of what we should perform like? And I'm just asking, because if we can't do that, take me out the community, babe. I'm gonna go be a monk. Just let me be at the end of the LGBTQ alphabet as the A, and just take me out of the lesbian community altogether. But realistically, what I'm hoping to return this platform back to is a very real conversation about Blackness, Black queerness. And I think it took a mild pivot. I don't think it ever really left the house of Black queerness, that building, but it was in other rooms. For sure. It was in other rooms having other conversations. But I want to have us think a little bit more critically of what we do amongst one another and what it means. And I want us to start to maybe possibly unpack that. And if somebody wants to have this conversation with me in person, it is way more empowering to have this conversation with a guest than it is to have alone. So thank you so much for watching this episode, because, baby, I need to be back in this house. I need to go lay my ass down. But I love y'all. I really do. I don't think you hear it enough. I love you, ho. I'm going to say it again. I love you. I love you with all my heart and soul. So, you didn't ask for that, but I need you to feel it. I'm giving a motive. But yeah, if no one else makes you feel like there's a reason to live today, if it starts to feel like everything is against you and you're alone, I need you to remember that you are not alone. And hopefully this is one of those conversations you feel better for having together. And maybe next time I could talk to you, you could talk to me, and we could talk to whoever the fuck we is supposed to be. I love y'all. Take care.
Risk, I never thought it'd be this. I'm jumping out of your arms, I land and fall in a pit. Is this what they call the abyss? I fought and clawed for an inch, turning a miracle mile. I could recall when your lips used to contort into smiles, bright as the sun that's drawn in eclipse. I haven't seen light in a while, hasn't been bright in a while.